guys, so just gonna bring you back here. Sorry about the lighting in advance. So you can see this panel's ready to go shortly. Now I had to score this open with the vinyl. I cut it with the box cutter there, and I want to take out as much as this as possible. Now I didn't go all the way flush to the foam. That way I have some type of rail to take a look at, but once I flip this board over, I'll be able to see any damage that's been going on in here. I don't hear any water, which is a good sign, but you can see the movement when I rock here. So obviously there's two layers, so I must have ran out of material on the build. I'll have to cut along this seam I made. Now all my batteries are charging in the inverter right now for the DeWalt, so I only got a little bit of the wave on the work so far. But sun's out, very little clouds in the sky today. Let's go take a look actually. Whoa! Very little clouds in the sky. So we'll have these batteries charged up shortly. I'll show you what's going on back here. Got all three going. There we go. I got a fourth charger here, but only have 3 batteries. So it's going, and I got the Dyson vacuum cleaner charging because I did a little vacuuming. And that's basically all that's running at this point in time. There you go. So don't need the air today. It's beautiful out, fall weather. Gotta love it, taking full advantage. Whew. So I stuffed all the foam boards up above the shower for space, and then I had the ones that I had left over I just put here. Once I cut in, I'll be able to figure out what I need. Sunday's a beautiful day to go to the hardware store because not a lot of people are working on Sunday, so not too shabby, guys. So once I pull this floor up behind me, I'll be able to show you guys the damage on video and come up with the game plan of what I'm going to be doing next. Maybe there's no damage. Maybe it's mold and I gotta rip the whole piece of wood out and replace it. It's all possible. And I'm pretty sure polyurethane is going to be 100% a go for this, because I want to in future have that area completely sealed, waterproof from any possible further leaks, so I don't have to rip everything back out again. Not the plan, not for me. So, and I'm pretty sure that now that I bleached a lot of that mold out of that lumber, if I apply a heavy coat of polyurethane to it, it'll trap it, seal it, and kill the mold inside of it. So I think that's very doable as a fix. Now, the down part of polyurethane stinks to high heaven for long periods of time. So if I'm going to do it, it's going to be either today or tomorrow, because I ain't staying over here Friday smelling that nonsense. Ugh, it'd be gross. Even with the windows open, I'm sure it would be bad. Especially in an enclosed tiny space like the tiny house is. I'm really happy about the air filter that I bought for the tiny house, because this is pretty, it's a very tight, small enclosed space, and gotta have it. It is what it is. Oh, and I let my Patreon members know, I went up on the roof here, guys, just above, right up here where the solar panels are. Now you notice there's this stain here, like a rust stain, and And you notice there's the rust stain kind of stops where my bucket is. My containers that are going to be permanently there from here on out, and this rag permanently there, well, a towel. It's going to be permanently there from here on out. Just to capture the little drips of water that I get occasionally. Now the leaks are so slow that I'll never have to empty one of those containers or worry about that rag getting super wet, because the drips are like maybe 1 drip an hour, if at all, which is very slow, and it's just a drip. So by then evaporation is going to kick in before any of these containers fill up. So I was up there, I didn't film this, but I set the ladder up right up next to the solar panels, looking around for possible areas of infiltration. Now the solar panels are mounted with L brackets that I siliconed and then screwed and then siliconed over again. So those weren't leaking at all. They were 35-year high quality silicone I used. And I looked around at possible little areas where my dad put screw holes in from the stupidity that, oh, dude, if you're helping me on a job and you're not listening to directions, it drives me bananas. I don't care if you're my dad, whoever the hell you are. If you just start doing stuff like putting screw holes into a flat roof, I just lose my cool, let's say. So that drove me bananas, guys. So now this happened a while ago, so whatever measures we put in to seal that probably failed, like possibly silicone or whatever we used. So I took the rocker guard, sprayed over different areas up there that I thought possibly could have some of this water seeping in. Now it's no guarantee, because I won't know until next rainfall, and apparently sometime this week, excuse me, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're calling for rain. If the weatherman's right, we know how that goes. But I won't know until then if I'm either going to see a even more slowdown of the dripping, or it's just going to continue. Now, I can't get under the solar panels to seal anything because they ride almost the entire width of the tiny house, and there's only like an inch gap underneath them. So there's not enough. I couldn't even get a paintbrush in there with some tar or anything. I wouldn't even bother, because I wouldn't want to mess up the solar panels anyways. So I carefully rocker guarded just the areas I wanted to around the solar panels without getting splash on the cells and on the glass, which is important not to do. So we'll see how it goes. Now I can live with those containers up there permanently. That's not a big deal. Though long term, I don't know what kind of effect it's going to have. It's water trapped between aluminum and foam. Is foam a food source for mold or water? I don't know. I really don't. But you can see there is obvious rust stain, so there's water sitting in here. Now you see these things going across, those are the ribs of the roof. So it goes from here to there, not very long of a distance. But I'm having leaks even up back to this bucket here, and all the way back to this area here where I got the rag stretched out, or the towel stretched out. So I marked on the 2x4s exactly where those containers go in between. So if I ever have to remove the container, I know where to put it right back. And in this one, because it's a shallow metal tray, I put one of those super absorbent microfiber ShamWow things. So if a drip of water hits that, it's going to spread out and absorb into that mat very quickly and dry out very quickly. So that's the point. Basically mitigation at this point. We haven't found the cure yet. We're just in the treatment modes here for now. But I got the rest of the tiny house watertight. Thank God. Thank goodness. I think we're going to be fine. So that's the main thing. And I haven't noticed any other water or rust marks on the foam in anywhere else in the trailer. Jeez, calm down. So it's just that area there. You can see a line, and that's probably where the water's sitting. And it's able to, because there's a rib there, it's probably able to travel from that rib left and right, and from this rib left to right. And that's kind of where my leaks are. So I figure that's somewhere where that is. Now, unfortunately, this is underneath my solar panels. Can't do much about it. Is what it is. Does that mean I need to poke a hole through that rust mark and attach a little hose and a funnel to catch future water? I don't know. Take like a little pinprick and hopefully have a bucket with me to see see how much water is trapped in there. I don't think there's a whole lot of water trapped in there, guys. And it only happens either during or after a rainstorm, right? So we know if there is water in there, it's not enough to get, it's not a big pool of water basically. But when more is added to it, obviously it's going to travel and have a bunch of nonsense. So if I did a pinprick in this rib where this rust mark is, I'm assuming I'd get water. And oh look, directly, my head is right here on the bed. So that'd be a nice wake-up call. Yeah. How are my batteries doing? They're still charging. Can't do much more until these bad boys are done. So I'm playing the waiting game and talking to you guys, bringing you another video. So we are on it. And then Monday I got some work and helping out one of my Patreon members there. So we'll see what happens. Oh, like I said in my Patreon message to my patrons, other than the roof stuff, bumper crop this year, I've kind of figured out how to grow medicine very well. Let's put it that way. I've kind of aced it. Now, if you guys want some tips with me for growing, I'm going to make it real simple. I grow in containers, not in the ground. The reason for that is the end product's a lot cleaner. You'll notice when I do make medicine, I can tell which plants were grown in the ground and which plants were not, just by the stuff I filter out, or the material I filter out off the medicine after the fact. I'm talking about RSO, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go see my playlist on my YouTube channel, Rick Simpson Oil. Now, some tips. Who likes bananas? I do. Okay. Since I can only grow 4 here, eat a banana and save the peel. Cut the peel up immediately into a bunch of different slices, okay? And then in your containers where you are growing your medicine, bury some pieces of the peel. And that's it. passively will fertilize and give all kinds of potassium and good nutrients to your plants. Now, I start mine very early, guys, so I suggest you do the same because you'll get more yield off your plants. The longer you grow them, the more yield, and obviously the better soil slash nutrients or fertilizer, you'll get more yield. Makes sense, right? So that is step one. That's an easy step. If all you have access to is bananas, do that. Now don't overdo it. I've only used one banana peel for the entire season, cut up, because the plant will automatically, the roots will go in and mulch it down and get it eaten up. That's all you need, one banana peel. You can go to the local grocery store. If they have like bananas about to go bad, they normally give them to you for free or for very little money. You can do that way, or just buy bananas from your regular grocery list and save a couple peels, right? You can freeze the peels too, and you can freeze the entire whole banana and smash it up later and put it in the dirt as well. Now, I also use a fertilizer. It's a Miracle-Gro fertilizer. It's called Bloom Booster. It's in a green container tub. Inside is a bag of blue granule material. It's blue color. Has its own little spoon. I take the biggest end of that spoon, throw that in I fill it to the top, throw that in a container, a watering can, a regular size watering can, dump it in, fill it with water, and as it's filling with water, it's stirring it, mixing it, and foaming it up, and that stuff is water soluble, so it'll liquefy into the water, mix in, and turn a nice blue color. Now you only have to add this stuff once every week and a half to your plants, or if at the bottom of your plants you see yellowing of your leaves, that's a telltale sign that, hey, it's running out of nutrients to continue growing. Okay, starts at the bottom, works its way up. So pour one of those whole watering cans onto your container that the medicine's growing in once every week and a half or so. Or if you notice the yellowing going on. Now this year particularly, I didn't have to do a whole lot of watering on my plants. Mother Nature took care of that with the rain we had, which was awesome. The plants much more enjoy rainwater than they do city tap water. Why? Well, there's all kinds of crap in city tap water, not to mention medications, fluoride, chlorine, and God knows what. Okay? It's not good. So my plants are nice dark green. They've exploded into bush shapes. So they're not they grew tall, but they expanded out like my waist. That's kind of expanded out this way, and that's what you want. I basically formed them into giant bushes, right? And why do you want bushes instead of the height? Well, one, height becomes a problem if you have neighbors, because then they can see what's going on. If you grow sideways with bushing it out, getting it nice and fat, you're going to have a lot more yield that way. Now this is probably my best crop yet, so I've only been growing since it was legalized, so that's only a couple years now. So I've already kind of mastered how to grow these things perfect. Now this year's crop, guys, I'm gonna say it's gonna be very decent, because and then I think my buddy Yeah, my buddy's got some at his place. He's got 4 at his place. As long as you grow the max, you should have enough medicine to make your own RSO. And if you follow my growing steps there. Now, when is your harvest done? Well, normally late October, but you can tell by the female has hair, these white hairs on the medicine plant. When they start turning brown, like not just one area but all over, that's when you can harvest. Or you can get your little, if you want to get real scientific, get your little microscope, look at the trichomes and harvest then, if you want to get real serious into it. Either way, once it hits the solvent's going to wash all that medicine off anyways, and you're going to be fine. Now, males and females. Males don't produce crap, okay? Males need to be killed as soon as you find out they're males. Males have these little green balls, or yellow balls, depending on how far along you let them go. And males normally grow super tall in a short amount of time. Those are key signs that you have a male, okay? Females have little white hairs. That's what you're looking for, as opposed to balls, okay? So that's all the info I can give you. You can look up online all the different ways, you know. There's all kinds of great resources online for that stuff. We have one battery done, so guess what, guys? I'm gonna go take him and start sawing again back here. So I'm gonna set up the camera. I'm gonna get you back on time lapse and we'll go from there. See you in a bit.